return, you're all groggily waking up, and as you're awakening, you hear the sounds of multiple people throughout the house, their shoes clicking and echoing on the floor as if there's... almost like you're in a museum and you just hear people walking around. Like, the house sounds like it's just full of people in this large vacant space with all these footprints and footsteps echoing throughout. Sometimes you hear them say something to each other. It's hard to make out what they're saying. You can't really make it out. But just as the grogginess is about to wear off, you hear somebody go, shh, right in your ear, and they all stop. And then you are laying on the floor of the library, to which I think a couple of you were actually in the DJ ballroom when you passed out, but now you're in the library for some reason. Okay, I said all of you wake up, but not all of you are there. Melanie and Victoria appear to be missing. The only things that they seem to have left behind are the amber and the bar devices, which now appear to be activated, which would imply that the peak devices are installed on doorknobs somewhere inside the house. And it appears maybe about an hour went by. And that's where we are.
An hour?
I think my first thought is to check footage when I'm running cameras.
Anything running?
I'm always running.
So what you can do is you could probably run the camera you had on you, or you can go back to the video village and see if any of the camera equipment you set up that you just had running long-term picked up anything.
I will start with the one that was on me.
On you. Okay, so you look at basically the footage. It seems to have stopped right around when you passed out, but it turns out like it looks like you're just kind of like walking. You're coming into the library, and then you just drop the camera, and then it just turns off.
Didn't we have ones in the corner?
Yeah, you can go back to the video village.
Yeah, we have to go back to base camp to see if any of the other cameras picked up anything.
Right.
Does anyone want to go with me?
Should we all go? I mean, we're missing 2. All of their equipment is on the floor, right?
Just the amber devices. Victoria's camera is surprisingly absent. And nothing. Melanie had the amber device on, but she doesn't know how to use it. So the fact that it is now operational and running perfectly fine is a little suspect. But
most notably not on her.
Yeah,
also.
It's just in the room.
Go ahead, Emma.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
There's a door out this way, pointing to the ballroom. There's a door there. I have written down there's a garden door there.
There is.
Door that leads to the garden over there.
Well, do we still have our walkies?
Yeah.
Is the garden door the quickest way out?
In all honesty, either. At this point, you're kind of in an in-between spot where if you go to the garden or you go to the lobby, you'd be able to...
Oh, we're in the library. We're not in the ballroom. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go on the walkie. Mel? Victoria? Don't fuck it around right now. Where are you?
Nothing.
Oh, fuck.
I'll make my way to the garden door and say, I'm going to go check the rest of the cameras. If anyone wants to come with.
Penelope gets up very quickly and makes a beeline.
To be fair, you guys moved the video village to the lobby before you passed out. That was one
we
thing
did.
you
Yeah.
Yes,
So it's all inside.
Okay, then I will go towards the lobby.
Sounds good. Your video equipment's all there. But yeah, Everett, what do you?
Everett's going with.
Okay. But yeah, you get to the lobby. All of your video equipment's there. It doesn't seem like anybody's touched it or anything like that.
Can you, Pierce, rewind back and see if you can get eyes on them, whether they've got like this whole place blanketed. Just try and find them, please.
Yeah, I'll go through every camera, all the footage, since we entered the house.
Would you like to use any points in anything to look back through your video and stuff?
Yeah, I'll use. Well, I have 2 points in photography, so I'll use them both.
Oh, okay. So you're looking through the video footage. You see all of you walk into the library. You're talking for just a moment, and then literally all of you just drop, like as if you're like rag dolls that just kind of like had their physics turned on or something. Like everybody just kind of drops to the floor, except for what's her fucking name? Victoria. Except for Victoria and Melanie. They stand there and they just kind of like look like they just kind of straighten. And they're there for 30 minutes just in that pose, like just standing completely still like that. And then you see, all of a sudden they kind of snap to action. You see Veronica start to walk deeper in towards the ballroom. So more clockwise into the building. You unfortunately didn't get that far into the building yet, so you don't know. She gets off camera once she goes outside of essentially the library. And then Melanie, you see her walk back to the lobby. She looks directly at the chair you're sitting in right now for about 10 minutes. And then she walks up the stairs of the lobby, looks at something up there, but you're not entirely sure what, because you haven't necessarily gone all the way up there yet. You have like cameras pointing up, but haven't gone up to the upper landing just yet. And then she walks deeper into a room that's up there.
Y'all, my stomach just did like somersaults.
Well, we know where they headed.
I want to pull Penelope aside kind of while that is playing. And say, did you see anything strange when we were before we woke up? Everett looks pale, by the way, like very pale.
Oh no. I did. Did you? Was it bad?
Yeah. I don't think we should be here any longer.
I don't want to be here. I was excited. Now I'm not. I don't want to die. I think we should go and say fuck everything. I think this is dangerous.
My dogs are trying to get in.
Oh,
Baby.
They're trying to break the door. They're breaching.
You're like, we want to play. Mommy, this
going to
door is
breach.
closed. Shh. I feel like, yes, we should probably leave, but I can't leave without them. But I also can't ask either of you to stay.
Before you continue that, where do you think we are going to go? Neither of us can fly a plane.
Pierce can.
I'd rather.
I was pointing more towards Penelope and Everett. Like,
I still hate Pierce.
I mean, is there a safe place on the island at all? Like, is there any place that we could go back to the?
considering
rooms?
things have started happening before we even stepped foot on this island, I would say probably not.
And I'm afraid that this extends beyond this island just based off of what we found before we even got here.
I mean, it at least goes up.
Right, I'm talking about what we found on land before we got here in the room, and that there's a survivor, and that what's his face is dead, and things. I don't like that. They're in two different directions. What do we do?
Well,
Usually
there's
I'm
four
the
of
one
us.
that's like telling me what to do. I don't know what to
There's 4 of us.
No.
do. No.
Mm-mm.
No one would be alone.
2 is
No,
one.
there is.
All right,
four.
listen. There were 4 of us in one room, and this still happened.
There were 6 of us in that 100. And all of this happened.
So what difference is it going to make if it's 2 people or if it's 6 people together?
I'm not very good at math, but if there were 4 and 2 left, only 2 would be left, and eventually 1, and then 0.
What's to stop that from happening with us staying together?
Nothing!
Okay, well, I don't think we should leave the other 2 alone this long. They could be hurt. We should go find them.
Literally the first time I'm going to agree with Piers. And the fastest way to find both of them and get out of here is to pair off.
Fine. Wait,
Yeah.
no.
You've already agreed.
Going to take your first agreement, but what?
All right. Well, how are we splitting it then?
I will go up after Victoria.
Victoria,
Down.
Melanie went up. Victoria went.
Oh, okay.
The other
I'll
way.
go follow Victoria.
I'll go up to Melanie.
I'll go with Piers.
In. Are you okay coming with me? I didn't hear that. but I
Yes!
missed it. Your mic wasn't picking up that time, Pierce. We're gonna have to get better
I'm
equipment.
so sorry.
As you do that, you guys are all talking, and it's like he sounds like you make a plan for how you're going to look around the house. You hear a not so familiar tune. It sounds like a ringtone, like an old Nokia kind of ringtone, but it's like a
Like the
surfer
8-bit?
boy. A little bit, yeah. But it's like a surfer theme, like
Like
and it's coming from
Wi-Fi.
yeah, and it's
Uh-huh.
coming from the library.
Is that direction where
That's like-
I was
yeah, that's-
going to go?
Yeah, that's the direction towards the ballroom. No one here lost their... We haven't had any reception this entire time.
Maybe
I'm
I
tell you
rescind
right
my
now.
question.
I haven't heard that ringtone since like 2004.
maybe it's some old satellite phone somebody left behind that works.
But they
Maybe.
don't... Satellite phones...
Joe, it would finally dawn on you what that is. That's the Amber device going off.
Oh,
Oh my god!
Nobody knows what it sounds like because Melanie never used it right. It's just, oh, wait, I know what it is.
What? And then I'll go after it. Wait,
Yeah,
who?
you see the Amber device like laying on the floor. It's just like a headset kind of thing with like an iPad sort of looking thing laying next to it. And the headset is blinking and it's playing this surfer ringtone.
oh.
Which usually means
I'm not gonna be able to do this Scottish accent all day. I'm too tired.
that's fine. Which usually means, like at first it's kind of funny, a relief to hear it going off, but then you also realize that that means that it's detecting supernatural activity.
Yeah, that
Hate
means
it,
there's
hate it,
proximity
hate it. No.
alerts.
Hate it,
No,
hate it,
thank
hate
you.
it.
Absolutely
Hate
not.
it, hate it.
I'm gonna grab it.
Alrighty. It says it has 3 devices connected, and the one that is currently going off is the cinema.
Cinema?
That's... We're in the library?
Mhm.
We go around to the ballroom, and then we go through that, and we're in the cinema. I made a map.
I don't know where any of my notes are at all.
Well, that's the
I got
direction
That's the
Victoria
direction that...
went.
Victoria
Yes.
went in.
Yeah.
Victoria went in.
So
Now, if you'd like, a thing you could do with the Amber device is put the goggles on and press it to see what it sees. I'm only guiding you with this because this is a device that the only person who knows what it is me. So-
I know what it is, I
Maria
saw.
knows too because Maria we played the
I
game
watched
together
you.
and stuff. But like Just so you know what the amber device is capable of. If it goes off, you can put it on your face and actually see what it sees. So.
Fuck it, I'll put it on.
Alrighty, so it says "Surf's Up," and then you see this kind of pixelization occur, and then all of a sudden you see into the room that it's looking at. You're at the perspective of a doorknob. It looks like looking into this cinema, and what you see is the lights are all off, so it's really hard to tell. But it looks like there are 7 robes just kind of suspended in midair, kind of like if somebody pinched the top of the robe and held them up like this, and each one of them has a candle in front of them, and they're standing in a circle, and then, maybe about 2 seconds into watching it, all the robes drop to the floor and the candles burn out.
Well.
Was it actually working?
Yeah. Yep. 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 She's gonna just sit down for a second, just put her head between her knees. Just take deep breaths. Deep breaths. That's a first.
Did you see Victoria?
No, I saw robes being held by bodies that weren't there, and then they fell. So this is great. This is fantastic. I feel as though I'd like to go back to when I wasn't in search of answers. I'd like to be ignorant. Ignorant is bliss. Now I know there's shit out there and it's gonna kill us.
Welcome to my entire life. And I'm just going to start walking in that direction. I'm going to actually grab the amber device, kind of a little bit indignantly from Joe, and start walking in that direction. Just say, come on, Piers.
Rude.
Oh, make sure I've got a camera. I can go with.
Alrighty. So you're in the ballroom, which is before the cinema. I want to say we'll go with Piers and Everett first. I'm assuming Penelope and Joe, you guys were going upstairs, right? To see if you can search for Melanie? Okay. So Piers and Everett, we'll go with you first. You're in the ballroom, and what you see is, last time you were in here, the door to the cinema appeared to be open, but now it is shut, and you can tell that there is a door there with a knob that, looks like it would work with the amber device. The amber device is on the inside of this door, though, so you don't see the amber device. Or the peak device is what the ones that are on the door goes, but...
Naturally, I will just try to open the door.
Alright, so you open the door. Unlike previous rooms, this room is immediately noteworthy. You enter and see a cinema, a large screen against one wall with a small room against the opposite wall housing the projector. What you don't expect to see is that all of the seating has been pushed to either side of the room, and in the center of this large room is a ritual circle containing a septagram and an incense burner at each point. Surrounding the circle are 6 piles of clothes, one at each point of the star. The clothes vary between male and female garb, and there's a pile of cultist robes decorated in zodiac symbols hanging off the back of one of the chairs against the wall. In front of the screen, there are 7 bowls held up by tripods, each with a bottle of fragrant oil and a towel next to it. Above are the constellations Libra and Scorpio on the ceiling.
Well, I
So
guess this backs up what Joe saw.
You said there were 6 cloaks on...
There were 6 clothes. So normal people clothes, just laying in a circle. There are... There's just a pile of cultist robes decorated in zodiac symbols hanging off the back of one of the chairs against the wall.
Just so a septagram is a 6-pointed star, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Great. Excellent.
So it was 7 robes and 7 bowls, and then 6 piles of clothes.
The robes were just like
It's
pile
just a
of robes.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
But in the
Just great
video,
number.
it was 7 robes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so 7 bowls, 7 robes, 6 piles of clothes on a 6-sided star.
Right.
Start
5 horror bodies.
Okay. Is the room still dark?
Yeah, it's pretty dark, but you can kind of see everything that's in here, like with the door open and stuff. The light from the ballroom kind of leads in a little bit. And there is a door at the other end of the hall. So there's the door to the ballroom, and then there's the door to... You have a map that says all the names.
Workshops.
The workshop, yep.
I'd like to flip on the night vision on the camera and kind of look around in other corners.
So you're just investigating more?
Yeah.
You don't necessarily pick up anything else. There seem to be the only thing you really kind of find with, I guess you can say, a 0-point investigation, which is all you really could, because the majority of the stuff you need to look at is in the room, is that there are 5 robes in that pile of robes. But that's all you get. Otherwise, yeah, it's a ritualist. Everything in the center of the room is pretty much the weird, notable thing about the room.
So we're missing 2 robes if we're counting what Joe saw.
All right.
I want to say with that, the amber device goes off again.
I will put it on and like grab onto like Pierce's jacket or shirt or whatever just to make sure that like you don't go anywhere and I don't go anywhere.
It says the kitchen is going off.
Where the
Upstairs.
hell is the kitchen? How fantastic. How
upstairs.
terrible. All right, before I... Wait, okay, so the amber device tells me it's on before I put it on? Tells me it's in
The
kitchen?
bar device, which is a little iPad thing, will tell you what room is currently going off.
Okay.
It does say that the cinema is going off, but only because you guys are kind of in there. Like, it's misreading.
We are
you guys.
supernatural.
Yeah.
We are the supernatural occurrence.
Yeah, but it's picking you guys up, which is why the cinema is currently going off. However, it says the kitchen is now going off, and it says new note for that one.
Okay, I will... well, to peers, I'll say, probably tell them that it's in she might be in the kitchen. And then I will put on my spectacles. Boop.
Yeah,
All right,
I'll
so-
just radio saying, we're getting signal from the kitchen upstairs.
So what you get really quick before we cut to Joe and Penelope going upstairs is you turn on it says surfs up, and then pixelization happens, and you see into the kitchen from a doorknob perspective, and you see it's like a kind of a large kitchen, very sterile looking kitchen. Like, you know, they didn't move everything into the house yet. So there's not like pots and pans everywhere or anything like that, but it kind of looks more like an industrial kitchen, as if this place was, you know, going to be big for events or something like that. The lights are very out. It seems like the only light that's in is kind of like coming from the island in the middle of the kitchen, which is coming from, like, you know how sometimes you get those vents in the middle of the kitchen that also have a light inside of them so that you can see what you're cooking? That's basically the only light that's in this room. And what you can see is a person standing there. You can't see like from here up because it's all complete blackness, but from here down, it looks a lot like Melanie, and she's just standing there and she's holding a knife. And then we cut to Joe and Penelope. You two are currently in the lobby.
I guess we would start going up the stairs.
Alrighty. So when
they went to the whatever's. Sorry.
the what?
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You get to the upstairs seating area. So you walk up the stairs, and there's like kind of an upstairs seating area that's kind of overlooking the lobby a little bit. And when you get up here, it's kind of immediately a grisly sight to behold. As far as the room goes, it has a couple couches covered in white dust sheets and a coffee table between them. It is on this coffee table that you see what looks like dried blood on a blueprint of the house. Further examination of this blueprint reveals it's different than the public records of the house, but also has the words, "I hope this is enough," scrawled in blood on it. Next to the blueprints, there's a book with no discernible title, just a V on its cover, and Volume 5 on its spine. Several pages are bookmarked. The bookmarks are on pages that list details on how to do spatial warding and ritual sacrifice. You would need days to really examine the book more than that. But, like, those are kind of the chapter titles that you're kind of seeing pop up, and, like, some of it's written in different languages and in footnotes and everything like that. But yeah, no, so you find a blueprint, and it has blood writing on it, and there's also a dried blood kind of around, and a weird book.
Do I recognize the book at all?
Let's see. Would you recognize the book? No. Nope.
Absolutely not.
It's probably safe to pick up that blueprint, maybe? Could be useful, since it seems to be the updated blueprint.
Yes. So here's what's different about it that you immediately notice. That big space in the center of the downstairs ain't so empty.
That tracks.
Yeah. Inner room.
Inner room.
And it says that there should be a door coming from the lobby that leads in there.
But we didn't see one.
You didn't see one.
Did we see where possibly one might have been bricked up?
You didn't look hard enough just yet.
Okay, well,
We did.
But now that you
Also
know
look.
about it, maybe you'll
Well,
see something.
Yep, I will make a note of that.
How old does this blood look?
Yeah, that was my next question.
You're gonna look closer at the blood.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the blood here looks pretty old. I mean, you're no forensic scientist and you don't have a kit with you, but you definitely, it's not new, that's for sure, and it's not recent, that's for sure. I mean, I don't know if you've seen blood that is, more, like, super old or anything, but
It's like more brown than it's red.
it's definitely, like, if you had to put a guess to it, like, if you guys were the first ones here in a long time, maybe this blood was from around when it was closed. So, like, 7 years old.
Is it a lot?
But, looking closer, the blood looks like it's enough that someone definitely bled to death here, but also that person was seemingly dragged away after death. And I need you to make a 3-point stability test.
I will gamble 1,
Ooh.
and it was not enough.
Ooh, so you lost 4.
I sure did. So I'm at 0, I guess. If I go
that
off
would
of-
put you at, basically, if you start to go into the negative with stability, you're just kind of panicky more. Like, things are gonna start, I mean, it's gonna be real hard to tell the difference between what's really happening and what's not happening anymore, considering how messed up the situation currently is. So-
Totally fine. Everything's fine.
But yeah,
It's
so
not the 1st
you're,
time I've gone crazy.
you're getting crazy, yeah. Things are going a little wacky for you. What about you, Penelope? Well, Penelope, I think, I want to say Joe is the one that was really looking at the blood. You were probably looking at the book.
Sure. Yes.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
But yes. That is where we currently are.
I don't roll, right?
No, you're good.
No, just, it's fine. I went insane for the both of us. Penelope, this is a lot of blood. This is a lot of blood. Somebody died. Somebody 100% died right there. They
Joe,
died, and then
Joe,
they were
Joe,
dragged that
Joe.
way. This is gonna be fine.
Joe.
If we're missing 2, who's
Joe!
next?
Stop it. We have a job to do. We have people to save.
Yeah, but that's never been part of my job. I
No,
keep getting
stop
safe,
it.
but
Stop it. If you continue to panic about all of this, you will be useless. You can do this. You're fine. We're fine. I'm here with you. We're going
Sorry
to do
about
this
that.
together. It will be okay. Dave,
Mm-hmm.
how mechanically does reassurance work?
It's more so for convincing NPCs. Usually, when it comes to player-to-player contact, with reassurance, I'm willing to make it so that you spend points in reassurance to give points of stability back to your friends. But because I feel like we haven't found situations where reassurance really comes up terribly much. But in theory, reassurance is like, say you have an NPC who's really panicky, or a good example would have been the dude in the bar who's like a big drunk and gets scared and freaked out talking about stuff. You could have used it on him to be like, don't worry, buddy, you can tell us, kind of thing. But yeah, that's how reassurance usually works. I will allow, in situations like this, if you wanted to spend reassurance to give Joe points.
I do. Because I know that was really reassuring.
It really was. I feel assured.
That way I could do terrible things to you even more.
Yay.
I'm A-okay with this setup.
I regret this.
Oh no, scary things. Your
no.
walkie-talkie goes off, Joe.
Pierce?
What the fuck, Dave?
I'm about to yeet this walkie-talkie out the window because it seems to be.
There's no windows, but you can.
I'm gonna call into it again. Piers, Everett.
Piers and Everett, you get that. Oh, I want to say right now
in.
is when Piers tells you that they detect Melanie in the kitchen. Like that's when the time worked, because both of you left at the same time. So
Hey, there's an alert coming from the kitchen.
Okay, were you fucking about on the radio earlier?
No, this is my first time using it.
Shit. Sucks. All right, keep your
Sucks.
just shit's fucked. All right, we'll go check the kitchen.